there he is, Miguel Melbourne. Welcome, sir.
Many years, Erwin. Erwin, I
Many,
can't say many years, but I'm proud of where we've reached, Erwin. So,
yes, boss man. Yes, boss. By the way, the music there, Jesse Royal, that's one of my favorites in the Virgin.
oh yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
All right. Say no more. Listen to
All
this. Then
right.
my guest is even more special, Erwin.
All
Ira,
right.
good evening to you, and Ira, good evening to our distinguished listeners wherever in the world you're tuning in from. We thank you. I am Miguel Anthony Melbourne. This week on Melbourne Motivation, I'm excited to introduce to you one of our young musical savants carrying the torch of our Jamaican musical legacy to higher heights. Let me tell you more. André DreTegs Hawthorne's deep-rooted passion for music is attributed to his exposure to a plethora of instruments. He grew up in Meadowbrook, Andrew Jamaica, and was raised by parents with strong ties to the Church of God. DreTegs credits playing at weekly church services in his hometown with sharpening his musical skills. And although he began on the drums, he eventually took a keen liking to the keys, which would become his sonic vehicle of choice. After migrating to the US, DreTegs decided to become a music producer. From his base in New York City, he has worked with some of the biggest acts in contemporary reggae, such as Dre Island, Jesse Royal, Kranium, Ching, as well as promising artists based in the Big Apple. Song releases such as Easy, Memories, Fool for Love give another window into DreTegs' musical genius. The humble musician has evolved to become a multifaceted, Grammy-nominated producer, musician, singer, and songwriter. DreTegs, my good brother, welcome to Melbourne Motivation on Andrew Jamaica. How you feeling today?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you. Thanks for having me. Big up on yourself.
Absolutely. Yeah, Dre, it's a pleasure. It's an absolute pleasure to be having this conversation with you. And when I read your bio and understand how you got into music, I could almost say the reason I'm here is also because of my faith and my family. And so, Dre, where I want to start is if you can just reflect back for us when you were just a kid growing up in the church, how would you have defined what music meant to you back then? And seeing how far you've taken your musical talents today, how would you define it now? What has changed? What remains the same?
I mean, the love for it remains the same. Only thing I would correct, you said I got into music. I think music got into me. So, I was just born around instruments, literally. My dad is a musician. My mom knows her way around the guitar. My brother is a very skillful musician. So, it was just around me. And I took a keen interest to it because it's just like anything you do in life. When you work on something and you see the results of it, you just want to do it a little more. And where I'm at now is just a series of me doing it a little more, and steps like that. So, but the love is why I do it, and the love is why I'll be here, and hopefully I can do this for the rest of my days.
Wow, you said music got into me.
Yeah.
Dre, there's a whole lot of us wondering why music didn't get into us this way. So no, I love the way you put it, and and imagine there's so many young DreTegs out there. When we think about music, us music lovers, we tend to be greedy. Meaning we typically just focus on the outcomes and we miss the hard work that goes into great songs. But of course, to me, when we hear Grammy-nominated producer, musician, singer, songwriter, it's easy to tell that exceptional hard work is behind your musical genius. Yeah. And so, as we heard, Erwin mentioned one of his favorite artists in the song we heard coming in, Home, which you produced on Jesse Royal's Grammy-nominated reggae album. Big congratulations, by the way, on unlocking that new level in your journey.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Absolutely. So, what I want to ask then, Dre, is give us a chance to live vicariously through you. How does it feel to get that recognition? And importantly, was there anything unique about how this project came about or the process of how that record was made that when you look back and say, wow, the success of this record, this is really why it's really special to me?
To be honest, getting nominated for the project was great. It was a great feeling. But I think it didn't really change it didn't give me any extra insight, because it gives you insight and the listeners and the consumers to like, all right, he's at this level. But for me, I feel like I've always been there because I put the work in. So when I actually got the nomination, I was happy for it, and you know, and congratulations to the winners and the people. But I don't want to create this distinction between the Grammy nominated and the musicians or artists that are not, because they're equally great. So at the end of the day, you know, the nomination is for you, you know, to see where I'm
Absolutely.
at. It was not for me to prove I deserve it, you know. That's how I feel about it. And how the project with Jesse came about, I mean, it's just one of those organic things where I was with my brethren slash artist Alan, and I literally was working on the music. And most times I'm working on, say, a rhythm or a beat. I have lyrics in my mind and I have melodies, right? I don't know why I was in that mind state. I was thinking about my son, saying I'm logging in a lot of hours on the road doing shows, or in the studio. So I was like, it would be cool to kind of do a song from his perspective. I feel I'm telling him why I'm not there sometimes. You know, I'm the silence in the absence of sound, right? So I'm there with London. I'm like, you know, let's vibe this, and let's, you know, I want you to sing a verse on it. And he was like, you know what, Dre? I think this song is too potent for me. He's like, yeah, hold on. Jesse was in Jamaica. I'm called Jesse on FaceTime. Jesse was like, what? I sent him a clip of it and say, yeah, I'm going back to the studio right now. Got to the
Wow.
studio, went into the booth, set up his phone, and then we just did it. I did mine here, sent it to Jamaica, and sent it back. And that's how literally it worked. And remember that this was like 2 years ago, like prime pandemic quarantine, you know?
Wow.
So, and then just to see like the reception that song has gotten, you know, so you know, that's the part that I like, the feeling.
Wow. Yeah. There's so much to pull from what you
Yeah.
just said. You know, most of us, we have the lyrics and melodies in our head. And when we utter it, the people around us tell us to be quiet. But when you do it, it's a Grammy nominated song. So
No,
we
they
get
tell
it.
me,
There's levels.
them tell me be quiet. It's not just you.
Well,
Auntie.
no, you mentioned the pandemic, and this song really evolved out of that time frame. And so what I want to touch on next is really one of my favorite aspects to the DreTegs music
Mm-hmm.
movement is it's the uplifting and the inspirational tone that comes from your songs and the songs that you produce.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I often tell people that one of the greatest secrets that's not so secrets, one of the best gems in all of New York City, matter of fact, all of New York State, and
Yeah.
I'm willing to put up, let's battle other states as well. It is the spaces that you and your team create for music lovers,
Yeah.
and especially those that are into live music. Can you just share with our listeners what are some of those in-person and digital spaces that you have created, and how
Yeah.
can people
So
join? How can they support?
yeah, me and my brother, Damien, my actual brother. A lot of people just think is my brother, but it's my actual brother. And my band Royal Chaos, which is also my brother's. You know, down at the studio, we would just set up the music and just rehearse and then just freestyle and jam and just create a vibe. And then we did this for years, right? So one day we were like, we should really just invite some people and just jam, and to be honest, that we never really expect a lot of it out of it. But like the first week we did it and we had a full house and we had like different genres, different walks of life. Second week we had Junior Reid. Third week we had Carlin Davis. Like people just start hearing it from the street level. I never reached out to an artist or anybody and tell them to come. And then just like the vibe that created after that, and it's like an aftershock. You know, the earthquake hit, and then the aftershock continues, and then you know we're able to cultivate this community, right? So it surpassed music at this point, you know, because the same bunch of musicians and artists and patrons were for any cause. Like if your house was on fire, you needed stuff to restock, or you needed a real estate agent, we could find that within our jam session. You get me? Or
Yeah.
if you needed to feed the community, which is what the Bible Truth Church does on every Saturday, we could draw from volunteers from this group. So it's just like it created a movement, you know, of
Mm.
something that was just dormant within us, and it just kind of lit the, you know, it lit the fuse. So
Wow. It's amazing. And just tell them this is located in the Bronx, or just tell them where can they follow to really be able to come better understand what
Well,
you just described.
so what we're doing with Voice Out now, rather than have it in one set location, we're moving it around. We want different people and different environments and different communities to experience the vibe. So the best way to do it is to follow our page, right? And that's Voice Out Jams. That's it. Voice Out Jams on all platforms. And then, we might pop up in a city near you.
Voice Out Jams. Follow it on all platforms.
Yeah.
Trust me. Thank me later. Here we go. DreTegs, there is a aspect to music that, again, that we don't get insight to, right? And I'm sure there are up and coming artists right now. They're well established artists that they're looking for DreTeg, someone who at the end of the day produces quality music. So if someone is to reach out to you, because break down quickly what are some of the services they're reaching out to you for. And as a matter of fact, as now that we're celebrating our women, I know you've worked with quite a bit of amazing musicians that are women. Just drop some of those names for us so that our listeners can follow them.
Man, I did a project with an amazing artist, Leandra, and it's on all platforms. It's called Alignment. We had some good songs on there. I did a project and a couple songs with another R&B artist. Her name is Journey Montana. And interestingly, I can't remember if it was last year, this time, or the year before, but it was used by the Beats by Dre for Women's History campaign. It was also used by the WNBA, and I was part of their campaign. So it was in all the arenas and all that good stuff. And I've worked with other artists. I've done a song together with Mary J. Blige, and a lot of different artists. So
So let me say this. Let me say this too, Dre, because we're talking across genre.
Yeah.
Right? We're talking so many.
Because it's music, It's music. At the end of the day, it's notes and it's keyboard and it's drum and it's a sound. And we just, the genre, what separates the genre is literally an accent or a language. But the actual music of it, it's really simple. It's just music. So it doesn't matter. That's why I'm able to go between genres. I can have a 7 o'clock session where I'm doing gospel, and then 9 o'clock is hardcore dancehall. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then a reggae roots vibe. Because I just keep it very simple. My outlook in music is just music. If I can hear it, I can produce it. I can play it.
It's spoken like a true genius. It's so simple. It's not. Here's what I want to ask you, Dre, because you have the knowledge right now, right? Quickly as we wrap up, you have the knowledge. So when we think about the youth, right, and the importance of them to learn what you learn, right, so that they can also expand it into communities that you're creating. Are you open to schools, organizations reaching out, bringing the kids to your studio? Is that something?
For sure. Interestingly enough, 2 days ago, I had the studio with about 15 students from a program in the Bronx called Bronx House Performing Arts. And they range from age 7 to, 17. And it's literally what you just said. It's just me sitting them in a circle and being like, all right, this is how we do it. I'm showing them the actual process of making how their favorite song was made. So they pretty much make the music. Like, I just guide them through it, and then I break them up into groups and have them write them a song. Somebody said, I wish I had a butterfly. I'm like, hey, that's a good wish. It can be a hit song one day. You never know. And I would put them in the booth, and it was just amazing. And I just feel like, I never had that when I was their age. Right. First time I've been to a studio is when I actually, we make a studio at home and we had the headphone as a mic, and I used to sell beats in school. But official studio is like I had to find my way around. I learned everything myself, and I know how hard it can be. So it's like I feel like, I can pass on some knowledge to somebody. I can plant a seed somewhere, because what's the sense having a lot of skill and a lot of knowledge and
not be able to pass it on.
Yeah.
DreTegs, we're gonna leave it right there, but again, just on behalf of the entire Irie Jam family, Melbourne Motivation, I'm sure our listeners who's getting a chance to hear this insight that they ordinarily don't get. Thank you for the work that you do. Can you just quickly share with us? Definitely share with us just one more time. Where can folks follow you? Where can they follow all the different musical movements that you have going on?
You can follow me, at my page, which is my name, DreTegs, DreTegs. You can also follow Voice Out Jams, which is spelled Voice Jams. No, Voice Out Jams. Spelling is not my thing. Music is. But just look it up and find me and ask any questions and shoot, anything you want to say. Oh, thanks for having me. Keep up the good work that you're doing. I know your partner said it, but you're doing an amazing job. And,
much respect.
You know what I mean? I want to say much respect to you.
Much respect, my good brother. Erwin, one of your favorite artists. I brought one of the producers to you, Erwin. One of the best we have, Erwin.
Yeah.
You're doing good. You're doing good, Miguel. You're doing good. Congratulations to you, Dre.
Yo, respect, man. I appreciate it.
Looking forward to continuous music of the sort, and keep on doing what you do, my friend.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
So, Miguel.
Yes, sir.
Another successful endeavor of presenting persons making waves in our society and impacting our world. Thank you very much, sir. How do we remain in contact with you and follow back at you?
Hey, absolutely. My personal and professional goals are to help the youth be best prepared for college, career, and beyond so that we can have more André Hawthornes out there. Visit mycollegepod.com. That's mycollegepod.com to gain access to Path with a Purpose, latest college and career prep innovation. Follow Melbourne Motivation, Facebook, Instagram, subscribe on YouTube. Until next time, please be safe, live with big energy. Erwin, next week.
All the best to you. Stay safe, my friend.
Yes, sir.
That's Miguel Melbourne with our motivation, bringing on some influential